Prosecutors say a North Texas woman stole more than $1 million and spent most of it on TikTok in an attempt to boost her presence on social media.
Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about and react to a news story about a Texas woman who stole $1 million for TikTok clout, and you won't believe who she stole it from or how she got caught. But before we get into the video, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. Thank you.
This week, a Tarrant County judge sentenced Staci Blackmon to 35 years in prison. Prosecutors say she also used stolen funds on other lavish expenses. Fox 4's David Sentendry spoke with prosecutors. David.
Well, the Tarrant County District Attorney's Office says Staci Blackmon spent about $1 million of stolen money on TikTok coins.
That's right. She spent this money on TikTok coins. Specifically, she spent $900,000 on TikTok coins. And to give you an idea, a pack of 700 TikTok coins is about $10, while 17,500 coins cost just around $230. So to do the math, if she's buying the most expensive pack of 17,000 coins for $230, divide that by 900,000, she purchased about 3,913 purchases of that $17,000 amount. So at the end of it, she had 68 million TikTok coins that she spent on people. Think about that. 68 million TikTok coins. My God.
And then gave those TikTok coins to influencers in hopes of growing a following of her own.
She spent her money on TikTok.
$1.2 million. That's how much money Staci Blackmon pled guilty to stealing from a former employer while giving most of that money to influencers on the social media app TikTok.
A trusted individual. She was deceptive upon deceptive upon deceptive.
Blackmon worked as an office manager for a high-end home building company in Southlake. In 2019, she began using a bank account of a senior partner who unexpectedly passed away, according to the Tarrant County District Attorney's Office. Did he have any family members who were wondering where this money might have been, or did they just not know there was any money?
So the money was stuck in probate. Staci Blackmon actually befriended the heir of this senior partner.
So that's where the story really gets interesting. So she basically did new age, modern grave robbing. So she befriended the person who had connections to the senior official who passed away, and the senior official who passed away was her boss, by the way. So she was basically stealing from her own job. Common sense tells you not to steal from your employer, especially money. The common things people like to steal, let's be real, are office supplies or massive amounts of printing. When I worked in an office, I loved just using post-it notes or printing whatever I wanted throughout the day. I think I still might have some of those post-it notes laying around, actually. And printing, I was printing whatever I wanted. I was printing pictures, I was printing books, I was printing whatever I get my hands on. I was printing airline tickets. If I could print it, it was getting printed. So that's what I understand about stealing from your job, but to do that is ridiculous. I would never try and steal millions of dollars, but what about you? Have you ever stolen anything from your job?
And was helping her figure out where all he had accounts and all of this. And so she was literally walking through this with the person she was victimizing.
Blackmon used a company credit card to send nearly $900,000 through PayPal to TikTok.
And she was...
That's why I find the story extremely interesting, especially because she was just stealing and transferring this money at like such a high amount. You would have thought somebody would have caught on to this. Maybe the bank, maybe the employer, maybe the lady. I understand she was bookkeeping, but like somebody had to catch on to this a long time ago. Like, I remember when I went to the airport, to give you an example, I just tried to take out $100 from the ATM. They shut down my ATM card so fast and they started blowing up my phone. And that was just for $100. How did they not stop her after the first $100,000? And another thing that the story isn't talking about is how she got caught, because how she got caught is extremely important. It wasn't just the job that caught her. It was the person who she was stealing from daughter. She noticed that she was missing funds from her trust fund funds, and she contacted the police, which the police contacted her employer, and that's what then led down this rabbit hole of who she was stealing from and how she was stealing it. And I think that's important that the news didn't cover, because that's somebody's trust fund, that's somebody's life savings. I'm gonna be real with you, they took that person's life savings. It wasn't just random money in an account, it was money this person had saved up their whole life, and she stole $900,000 from them. So think about that. That's like one of my worst fears growing and like becoming a working adult, is saving all of my money and for it to be just taken away from me like that. It's just a ridiculous amount of money that she took, no remorse, and they can't even get the money back. So as they were saying, and as they're gonna get into, what she spent it on are things that are not actually valuable and that you can resell. So she just took all this money, gave it all away, and just used all of it for what? For some TikTok clout that she never got, and the clout that she is getting is kind of the opposite of that. She's gonna come out 35 years from now and nobody's even gonna remember her after everything that happens with the drama and stuff that happens in the world. I just think personally that's something you shouldn't do ever. But it comes to a point where you're like, maybe I've taken too much money. She never even thought like, maybe I should stop, I've taken too much money. Okay, enough of my ranting, let's go.
Was using that bank account that had
His life savings in it to pay that credit card.
So why TikTok? Well, prosecutors say Blackmon was using the money to tip social media influencers on live streams in hopes of building her own following. Blackmon also purchased a suite for Dallas Mavericks games, lavish trips, and more.
She didn't buy any assets. She didn't put the money anywhere.
That's what I wanted to mention too. You're stealing all of this money. Why don't you like buy a car, buy a house? Dude, buy a watch, buy some jewelry. There's anything in this world you could have bought. So much things you could have bought. But you just going out there, spending all your money probably on alcohol and restaurants. That's just my take on it, because that's something you can't get your money back from. Once it's spent, it's spent. And you're just giving it away to TikTok. Like, you think about the people who are funding these NPC streamers and these random TikTok live streamers. People like this. People like this. She could have easily took that money, bought a whole bunch of bots, which people do all the time, for comments and viewers and things like that. She did not even need $900,000 for that. She could have took maybe $100,000. At $100,000, she could have stopped. She could have said, $100,000, I'm going to take this money, I'm going to invest it in TikTok, I'm going to become an influencer, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of bot comments, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of followers. She could have easily did that, and she didn't. She went like the most weirdest, dumbest, roundabout way of trying to steal this money and become an influencer, and the only thing she influenced was her putting her foot through the fucking prison door, which is even stupider. Oh my god, I know I'm going like down this rabbit hole of a rant here, but it's a mix of two things. I'm scared as an adult to lose my life savings, and I can't believe there's adults out there that would do this to people and take their life savings like that, you know? So it's like a two-sided coin. You should just know better, and you should do better, and just be a better human being.
And had nothing to offer to pay back that was comparable to the amount that she stole. She went ahead and stole another $400,000 from the business as well.
Blackmon's employer ultimately caught on to the theft, which led the company down a rabbit hole, realizing theft had been going on for several years.
Again, it wasn't the company that caught on to this. It was the person's daughter that she was stealing from because money was missing out of her trust fund. That's what I mean by like they're not telling the whole story. They're kind of mixing in the truth there. It was not the employer. No, it was not the employer. It was the daughter who led the employer down this rabbit hole. And on top of that, the employer should have known something like this was going on. It shouldn't have taken $900,000 and then some for them to catch on to this. They should have a bookkeeper for the bookkeeper kind of thing, you know? And it goes back to me saying the bank should have stopped this. The bank should have called the company. The bank should have like reaffirmed that this is the right thing to do, because it becomes suspicious after a while. Like, why you're taking money from one place, moving it to here, and then doing it in another place. Like, most people catch on to that. The bank should have caught on to that. It's just to me, like, how many safeguards can you put on your own finances so things like this can't happen to you or won't happen to you in the future?
Blackmon was indicted in 2022.
She is extremely intelligent. She only ever graduated from high school, but that is no measure of how intelligent you are or how good you are at figuring out how to hide money.
She's intelligent, but in a stupid way. Let me explain. She's intelligent enough to manipulate somebody to give them their money, but she's not smart enough to know how to invest that money. She's a dumb loser. No offense to her. I mean, yeah, offense to her. Fuck this lady. You know, what she did is wrong. What she did is extremely wrong. Actually, it's super wrong. Let's just finish the rest of this video out, and I'm gonna give a little more of my opinion.
And she is very good at that.
Blackmon is sentenced to 35 years in prison. Court documents reveal that she plans to appeal that sentencing. However, her attorney could not be reached for comment tonight. Steve, Heather, back to y'all.
All right, David Sentendry, thank you.
I kind of want to read the comments, see what people said. She spent $900K to try and become a loser. What the fuck? Never seen a bigger waste of money in my life. Imagine having $1 million and spending it to make $100,000. She didn't even make any money. That's the craziest part. Social media is one hell of a drug. Yes, sir, it is. Unreal. We have a winner for the dumbest person of the decade. I agree with you guys. I agree with you guys. So that's the lady who stole $1 million for TikTok clout and has nothing to show for it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, put some safeguards on your life savings and don't let some stranger get into your money. That's definitely a learning lesson from this one video and this one situation. You guys be safe out there. Protect your assets, bro. Honestly, protect your assets. Let me know what you think in the comments below. See you on the next one. Peace.